investigators rest in the Traveler's Yurt. Is it Traveler's Yurt? What's the name of this thing? Celia has it. The Explorer's Yurt.
Yes.
Which has a sort of bigger on the inside vibe to it. From the outside, it looks like a cylindrical survival tent that could potentially house maybe 4 people. But the reality inside is that it could actually contain 10. Outside the Findalid temple, the yurt has been set up. Malavik has tried to do some fishing to little to no success. And Arcelia is currently dealing with a disease picked up from the Black Frost. Karun is poring over notes picked up from the Temple of Findalid left behind by Dr. Riddleson. As our group found out from Ilakni, the brother of the Ilverani elf that they ran into at the Ice Gate, that they in fact were the perpetrators behind the deaths of the other Ilverani elves along with Dr. Riddleson. Communicating to Ilakni what had happened. After saving him, he's agreed to rest here for the night before setting out back to the Ice Gate to meet up with the other Ilverani sentries and his sister. So, what's everybody doing for the night before you rest?
I've set up my shrine in the corner with the warmth, allowing the mosquitoes to surround and buzz about me in a nice, fun pattern. Though I've distanced myself to not bother the others. I am currently communing in order to retrain a lesson from the Mosquito Witch. This will take 7 days. This would be the first.
I would be off in a corner with furs and stuff laid out, and I will take a wood from my pack, like some old dried wood I had before, and just start carving. And that's it. Just carving and resting.
That's probably the wood from the that other temple you found on the lake.
The
right?
dry wood from the temple.
Yeah. Okay. That's mostly driftwood.
Driftwood.
Yeah. Okay. Arcelia. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Unless Arcelia is up to anything, I would be wiping the sweat from my brow, attempting to do what I can for her. In the meantime, whilst I must wait on divine intervention, so to speak.
Rest. Just trying to get as much rest as I possibly can right now.
Okay. I think Karun will probably pipe up after some study of these notes. So, let's see. Okay, here we go. So, I've taken a look at all of the notes that I found in the, of the temple of Findalid. I see a lot of things that we were able to pick up in the lab back in Liepestad, and it really does seem like Dr. Rittleson and us were here, and that we accompanied him to the temple and were basically like his assistants for a time. There's also a bunch of notes that are like, dated, and there's a lot of frustration that Dr. Rittleson wasn't granted greater powers like those Osoyo recently afforded us. And that he wasn't chosen by Osoyo, she holds up the paper, for the glorious duty of tracking and capturing the last Salmon car, Einamuren, for transport to the Nameless Spires. Snowy Owl pipes up at that. Einamuren. Einamuren. Yeah, that's what I said. Did I mispronounce it or something? It's not an elf. You know, all your crazy words that aren't elven, they don't make any sense. Please go on about Einamuren. Alright, fine. I mean, I was getting to it, but if you're going to be impatient, fine. It talks more about, us transporting Einamuren to the Nameless Spires. So, like, that's the thing that we saw in the dream, right?
Yes, us traveling with it in a sled, I believe.
Is that not how Sakawachi got her mark as well?
The mark that you have indicated belongs to the Gatewalkers. The mark given to me by my elder. It was given to us by Einamuren. He also talks about, like, our deviant abilities, and there's all kinds of notes on them. Yeah, it looks like they were granted to us by Osoyo. Who's Osoyo again?
The whale. Black frost whale.
I don't know what that is.
The model that we saw with all the tentacles.
The model gave it to us.
No, well, the real version of the model that we saw.
Oh. He says that there's also greater powers they were allowed to use. So that means us, but we haven't manifested them yet. And that we returned back here very suddenly without the sled we'd left with. The doctor says he suspects that Osoyo returned us to this location via a teleportation effect once we were done. He talks a little more like, kind of crazy about our refusal to tell him what exactly we did at the Nameless Spires. And he ends it with some sort of collective dismissal. Said that Soyo's release was now underway, and we were now to return to the closest Ayudara and await our rewards.
And does it mention anything of said reward?
No. It's a lot of frustration. You can tell he's like angry. You see the way he's writing here. It's like a scrawl.
Yes. Well, he planned otherwise, it would seem, then.
I don't know.
Knowing all of you, how would we be convinced to do such horrible things? I mean, there had to be manipulation at hand. Does it note anything of that sort?
No, not really. It doesn't go into details. I think Dr. Rittleson was trying to figure it all out.
It said it returned us to an Ayudara after we were dismissed, yes?
Oh, it says we returned here. And then we went back through an Ayudara, probably. It said the nearest one, right? So do we know any more near here other than the one we came through?
Oh, only the ones that we've been throughout our journey.
It'd be the Lich Gate. That would be the only one which would get us close to Leafistad.
Hmm.
There are
This is
too
all
many-
very confusing.
Yes, missing pieces. Close.
There were other notes, but they were destroyed. I couldn't get anything else out of them.
Useful, nonetheless.
So then how do we move forward? We continue on this quest to destroy the Black Frost Whale, yes? Right our wrongs, so to speak. Find more answers.
Continue towards these spires, then.
Seems that if we do not, it is unlikely that anyone else would.
Perhaps this is where we will find the Einamurin. And move forward with it.
If Einamurin is at the Nameless Spire, it is where I will go.
Karun, do you still have in your possession the notes from all of us at his office as well? Or
Oh,
whoever
yeah,
has them?
sure. Yeah.
May I have my file?
Oh, yeah. Give me a sec. So, Karun will hand it over. It's kind of like a dossier on you. It doesn't really have much about your past. It really has info about who you are and like when you were initially interviewed by Dr. Riddleson. These
there's
new
no
files,
notes- Oh, yes.
these new files that Karun has detail more about your deviant abilities and such.
So there are no notes prior to me being a Duskwalker.
Correct.
So, logically speaking, I could then deduce that the entirety of the time that I've known Dr. Riddleson, it has been post-transformation of some sort.
Yes.
Understood.
It might also have some information about, like, how you were assisting Dr. Riddleson in the temple and stuff like that. You probably have, like, there's probably, like, a crude work chart or something along those lines. Something like, doing different experiments and things like that with the Black Frost. You would find that you were probably one of the assistants working to infect the Ilverani because of your medical knowledge.
I close it and I slide it far away from me in disgust.
Arashtak, you would have been working to research the disease of the Black Frost with Dr. Riddleson. Malavik, you were doing a lot of literal heavy lifting. Arcelia, you were most likely doing like extra assistance with all of the different people. And you can see that Karun was probably doing various alchemical tests on the Black Frost. Such. I'm assuming Karun would probably show you each your file.
We've done a dreadful thing.
Yes, but if that was not us in our right minds, we did not necessarily do it. Could have also been posed as the only way to save the population if we were presented with evidence that showed that perfectly, manipulated or not. Otherwise, I do not think, at least, you Yara, you Arcelia would do it. The rest of us I could see being convinced with a greater good or knowledge acquisition.
It would go against all of my training that I've done since I was a little girl. Actively work towards the harm of other people.
And I knew he was bullshit from the moment I met him. I wouldn't have done that willingly.
It is logical as well.
Even still, even if we were, so to speak, some sort of a husk, it was my hands that infected them.
True, but who knows what the manipulation was? You may have seen them as nothing more than animals or monsters. It could have been illusory. Testing a disease on animals to prevent and help others. We don't know yet. Do not blame yourself.
Ilakni sort of stirs and says,
"Excuse me, but I know something about being forced to do things against your will. I hold no animosity towards any of you. I did things after being taken by the Black Frost, and my mind was not my own. I hold no hatred for you.
Even still, I'm sorry.
he slowly nods his head.
There will be a more ample apology if you are able to stop this from happening to anyone else.
That is the goal.
Well, I suppose if we cannot find any other information in this moment, perhaps we make sure that we gain ample rest. I will finish up attempting to do what I can for you, Arcelia, darling, and then I shall be off to pray and attempt to find some sort of way to cure it.
I appreciate it, Tiara.
Of course, darling. Anything for you.
Well, I will be going back to my mosquitoes unless there is anything else to discuss.
I think we just tried to get some good rest tonight. We have a journey of at least 70 days ahead of us.
Oh, 70? I thought it was 7.
70 times 7? No, that would just be just 70.
Okay, that's... Wow, that's a long walk. Wow. And, did we find any way down to the ice?
We have some climbing gear, but also there are a few of us that can fly. With flight, we could easily carry one or the other.
I also took notes from my conversation with Ilakni. I asked many questions about the high ice and fishing on it. Perhaps it might help our odds, at least a little.
And we have plenty of food, even if it is not always tasty. Right.
Okay, well, I'm going to get some sleep then.
Rest well.
By sleep,
Good
I
night.
mean dry heaving in the corner.
No, we'll be on the opposite end. Away from that. Yeah. Yep. What's the
How's
other
that
side of the tent?
meditation?
One side of the tent is dry heaving Karun, the other side is just mosquitoes.
Yeah, at this point, I'd rather have mosquitoes.
I put them in a corner. I'm not on the entire side, and they don't bite unless I ask them to.
They're organized mosquitoes, you see. Unionized,
Yes.
one might say.
I only need 2 hours of sleep, so I will commune and rest, and I can keep an eye out. Not that I expect anything out here right now.
Okay. So, Karun will enter a meditative state by dry heaving in the corner. Arashtak has set up a little shrine to the mosquito winch. Everybody else heading to bed.
I will be taking care of Arcelia and then stalking off to be alone and send a prayer to Pharasma. Try and at least discuss my thoughts on all that we've just found out and ask for the help that we need.
Okay. Let's see. Yara. Need a check from you. Please make a religion check.
$34.
Okay. Roll me a 1d4, please, Yara.
3.
How long do you try to do this, Yara?
Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm quite fatigued and I suppose I've lost a little bit of a sense of time. I am filled with grief. It is violating what I have heard. Either I did it of my own volition, with reason, of course, and I've caused harm when I am a healer, or something or someone was manipulating me to do something so vile, something I would never do to anyone. And seeing that handiwork, it's horrible. So I talk for quite some time about that, and my desire to make it right in any way that I can. I discuss my confusion at the whole thing, not understanding anything about my false memories, apparently, of my sister, about the change that my body has incurred, about my desire to heal Arcelia. I am crashing out, so to speak. Take some time.
Okay. Say it's about 30 minutes, Yara, before there is this feeling of silence as things begin to fade away. Around you, just an empty void. Silence. And this strange yearning to walk forward.
Is it similar to the one that I experienced some months ago?
Very similar, yes.
I will, stand up off of my knees and brush the snow and ice off of my skirt. I don't particularly notice the cold.
Falls to the ground. The ground sort of ripples.
I will walk.
With each step you take, the scenery around you begins to change. At first, it ripples into an area you've seen now several times. Liepidstadt. It's streets of Liepidstadt. Riddleson Manor. The next step sends this environment falling down and erupting forward. You see the forests begin to grow. The forests begin to fade away. The next step, and the first world comes into being, its chaotic nature in the distance, throwing you off for a moment as that too fades away. Soon you see Castravel. The elven architecture, the heat, contrasting his beauty. Sensation of curiosity and happiness. Jungles falling away. And then you know instantly that you have returned to Galarian. Skywatch. The environment changes. The lake is all around you. You don't know when you stepped upon the boat. The ghostly spirits and the crew that you once knew follow behind. Your journey continues, mirroring trips that you have taken. And in each spot, you see one of the faces of your fellow investigators. As you now see the high ice before you, you see at the edge spires arising. Someone standing in front of them. Hello, sister.
Mira,
What has happened to you?
I do not know. Are you real?
I don't know. Are you?
Does she look as she was?
She does. Like the last time you saw her.
Where are you? Are you... How... Are you at the spires?
I don't know where I am. I feel strange. Will I see you soon?
God, I hope so. I try to reach for her.
She extends a hand. And as your fingertips touch, a ripple effect happens. She falls away.
No!
The spires remain. Cascading across the spires, you see black frost begin to grow. Everything begins to crumble and fade. The high ice begins to fall away. Silence. feel something heavy in your hand.
I look to it.
There is single black frost snowflake resting there.
And it is not melting or cold to
Do
the
you want it
touch.
to?
It is the cause of all of my problems. So yes,
Begins to melt. And for the briefest of moments, you think you feel like something important has been decided. You don't know how or why. But you begin to awaken. You open your eyes and you see the inside of the yurt.
I look around. Is everyone there?
Yes? Karun is making the gentle sound of dry heaving in the corner. Rostok appears to be resting or reading. The others look to be asleep.
Is there any residue on my hand from the heavy frost melting?
Oh yes. It's probably what looks to be a single drop of water in your hand, almost black with soot.
Karun, darling! Karun! I have sample!
What? What are you doing? Why would you interrupt?
What? Sample? What?
I cannot quite explain it other than a vision, but look to my hand. And I keep it horrifically steady. I'm putting all of my mental energy into making it so.
Okay, so we need the vial. Oh, interesting. It has sort of similar properties to the oil stuff we found. Okay, let's scoop it into a vial. Huh. Sort of shakes it a little bit, holds it up. Yeah. You got any more? Where did you find this?
It appeared. It appeared in my hand. I have no other way to explain it. I had another one of those visions. Like the one where I was sent walking when I saw the spires long ago.
Yeah?
It was a heavy piece of snow in my hand. And I can't explain it, but I willed it to melt. And it did. and I have no idea, but it is still, it was there.
Okay, well, I will study it and let you know what I find. It looks a lot like that stuff we found on the ship.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Karun. I'm just quite confused.
Well, that's what, alchemy is for, right? It's to discover things and to, I don't know, to, science, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
well, I need to rest, but I'm really interested in this stuff, so I'm going to, just make sure it's safe, and then, little,
Right. And I will, pat Karun. Thank you, darling. Here, you get some rest.
All right. Are you, you're not dying or anything, right?
No, I'm alright.
Okay, because I probably have, elixir or vaccine for that.
Well, I will let you know if I feel as though I am dying, and we can attempt to rectify that. But for now, I don't think so. I'm just simply shaking, that is all.
Okay. All right, good night.
Good night. Perhaps I should tape her nose or something, or her mouth shut at night. At any rate, I will pull back the the little flap on the yurt just to see, can I get any gauge on possibly how long has passed since I had my absolute crash out?
Give me a perception check.
16.
It's hard to say because of the way that the sun just kind of stays out for long periods of time here. It doesn't have your normal sort of day cycle, night cycle.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I will not bother anyone else, and I will, Is anyone awake for a watch, actually?
I don't think so.
Rashak is most definitely awake. It looks like he's studying or praying or something, though.
Rashak, darling.
What?
You would see tears have, streamed my makeup down my face. I look awful. How did I get here?
You took the Ayudara with us. We walked.
No. I left the yurt previously. I do not remember getting back to the yurt.
Do I recall her leaving the yurt?
No.
Oh. I do not think you left the yurt, Yara.
So, it was all a dream, but... I suppose it was perhaps a vision or something, but I saw the spires. The high ice is the correct way. It is. I believe it.
Good to have extra confirmation.
My sister was there.
Is that not similar to what you were expecting?
Last I recall, my previous vision had her by my side being judged, so to speak.
Order of operations, perhaps?
Yes.
It may not be the same timeline if those visions are what is to come or what has happened.
Gods. I had Karun take a sample, but there was all of a sudden in my vision a bit of black frost in my hand. It stayed solid, and then I had the thought that this was the cause of all of my problems, and it melted. But there was a sample of it when I awoke.
That is curious. Yeah, you did not leave the yurt, to my knowledge. And if there is it does not snow in here, and not for the black frost infected kind. I wonder if we all have had or do still have one on us. If that is the cause of your visions, they caused visions when we were on the boat. You think that they were left by Rilson, perhaps, to continue to push us in a direction, and claiming they are divine.
Does this sound to me like this could be sort of what I've experienced? Or what?
There were no notes left by Riddleson about this.
I do not know. We did not have any sort of notation on the topic.
Perhaps you did not know of it either.
At any
Perhaps
rate,
it's
we should all be keeping an eye on each other. You may have something similar, or...
I will ask Mosquito Witch. See if she may shed some light. Perhaps there is one on me. She would be more powerful than that, so...
Sorry to disturb you.
No, I
just
was
really quite shaken.
just reading. It is fine. We have time.
Rorschach, darling. I will hug you very tightly. I know that you do not necessarily intend for it, but you are a great source of comfort for me.
Thank you. That is not common.
You are strange to be sure, but aren't we all? Eh? Thank you for being a good friend.
Of course, yeah. Yes.
I am going to rest now. Sorry.
No apologies needed. I would begin setting out more for the Mosquito Witch.
Very well.
To try to reach out and see if it's can be confirmed that we all have this snowflake.
Sure. Yeah, make an occultism roll, I guess.
Yes, so I'm going to check our stash to see if there's something that can lure her easier. Yes, that could work. I pull out from my bag of holding a small, tiny drake eye.
Okay.
And place it on the shrine in front of me. And then, because I am very, Very curious. And this...
By the way, tiny is still kind of big.
I mean, Adronis's head is listed as tiny, so...
It's somewhere in between the size of a fist and a head.
Yes. I will then take one other thing out of my bag of holding. The flask of, She Who Walks.
Okay.
And I pour that over the tiny Drake eye.
Okay.
And now I will pray. I wish to re-roll this, as I rolled a 5.
Okie dokie.
And hope that it is much better. 33.
Okay. After a short period of time, the mosquitoes begin to begin their feast.
Oh, just as a little note, Rostrog, you would know about the, what is it? The Thurible of Revelation. So if you did wish to use that, if you are to make any sort of religious ceremonies and whatnot, you would get a +2. You just have
Is
to
that
burn through incense.
If that's an item bonus, I cannot use it as my amulet.
Yes, it
gives me
is.
a bonus to occultism as it is.
Ah, yes, you're doing occultism. Correct. Sorry for the interruption.
No issue. I have removed the items I have sacrificed to her.
Okay. It takes maybe a couple minutes, but you can see this mess sort of begin to, spread out from the original eye. I won't go into detail about the grossness of this, but it's pretty gross. The mosquitoes
It's a little grape.
are enjoying it. It's not the size of a grape. It's like the size of a fist.
Big grape.
Yeah, more like a melon. Let's call it the size of a cantaloupe. So, as the mosquitoes go to town on this, Roshtok, the eye, you can swear like the mess that's left behind blinks at you for a second. And there is this buzzing. It almost feels like the mosquitoes increase in density as they swirl about you. As you get this intense feeling of satisfaction and also like someone looking over your shoulder. There's this increase in the sounds as the mosquitoes surround you. They buzz about, bloated and gorged on the sacrifice that you've provided. As they do so, you can see that this it looks like a form can almost be made out amongst the mosquitoes. Just a silhouette, a little bit darker than the rest of the mosquitoes, just kind of looks like it's walking towards you. There's no actual change in the mosquitoes. You're almost ensphered in these mosquitoes. With each step, it looks like these mosquitoes are taking. Blood is left behind in the shape of footprints. shape here feels like it is staring at you. What do you do?
I lower my head. I'm not going full prostrate, but lower my head. And the visions, I fear, may be a manipulation. One of my companions had a snowflake appear, and she willed it away. I do not wish to be under any influence and wish to choose just serving you. I do not want any others.
The mosquitoes seem to be quite angry.
Yes. If there is something that affects my mind, I have come giving this as an offering to ask for that to be revealed, so I may dispel it, that you have anything impeding you.
There is a line of mosquitoes that begin to almost look like they are forming some sort of rope or something, and it connects to your head.
I do not resist.
You can see the mosquitoes moving about, and the shape in the mosquitoes looks as if they hold up several arms. More mosquitoes from the sphere seem to go to work on this rope connecting to your head. Several of them begin to change. You can see this mist form around them. More arms get thrown up. The mosquitoes grow in intensity. The arms fall. The mosquitoes connected to this rope begin to die away. And where they do, ice, black frost begins to form. One arm comes up as if it is pointing behind you.
I look where I am being told.
You turn, and the mosquitoes have formed 6 spires in the distance. The mosquitoes that have fallen and turned to black frost form a line heading to these 6 spires.
Yes, that is our path. We intend to make it to these spires. It will be a long journey, but we will go. This is why I asked for no manipulation from them. A preventative, that we may get there and we can do what we need to remove this influence permanently.
Mosquitoes begin to push you from behind. You feel this gentle weight start to push you. And as you look into the distance where the spires are, more mosquitoes begin to fall and turn to black frost upon the ground.
I will still be able to reach out to you while I travel, yes? Or are you telling me that I will be on my own for this time?
It feels as if you are being rushed, and as if
Urgency.
this will be most difficult.
Very well. We will get there as quick as we were hoping, which is as quick as possible. Thank you.
Mosquitoes begin to fall away, leaving only this silhouetted shape in the yurt as the yurt starts to come back up. Bends over and drinks from what is left of the sacrifice. As it turns, mosquitoes begin to fall away as you see the silhouette walk away from you, dissolving into more mosquitoes as they separate.
Do I feel any different after what seemed to be the chain breaking?
It did not feel as if the chain broke.
They tried to and they could not. But the dropping of hands, potentially. Very well.
I think the feelings that you get are you are being rushed, you're being pushed, you are feeling as if this will grow more difficult as you travel. And your connection may grow weak.
He says a final thanks and continues then to read and study on the lessons that the mosquito witch has given him. I will continue to have the mosquitoes that have survived swirl around me yet again.
Very well. If that is all, you all are resting. Your night is uninterrupted. You have a full night's rest. Comfortable rest in this yurt. It is warm in here. It's comfortable. Make sure that you hit your rest button at the top of your sheet, next to your dying and wounded track below your HP. Rest for the night. Probably all begin to awaken similar times as people begin to stir. There are smells of the smoke from the fire that's been keeping this place warm all night. The smell of that sort of everlasting stew going. Smells pretty close to nothing.
Daily preparations. Apologies.
No worries. And I think Arcelia, we need to make a roll for you.
All right.
Let's see here.
Do you want me to roll for treat wounds for her? Or not treat wounds, treat condition for her as well?
Yes.
Right, let me find it. Here we go. Treat disease, I should say.
Yeah, treat disease. Okay.
What was the would that be a failure?
No, this is a success.
Okay, excellent.
So the disease does not advance to the next stage. But it is still oh, I'm sorry. So you reduce
She gets
this
a plus
to stage
2.
Yeah, so I think you reduce this to stage 1.
I think it was already at stage 1, yes?
No, it was at stage 2.
Excellent.
And yeah.
For the spell for cleanse affliction, shall I be waiting towards the evening, or is that something I could expend the spell slot for during the day and be without that spell slot, obviously?
So yeah, basically you can expend the spell slot. Yeah. Just be minus
Excellent.
the spell slot. Yep.
All right. Arcelia, darling,
Yes.
could you just come here for a moment and just sit down with me?
Thank you for doing this, Yara. I appreciate it.
Of course. Are you feeling any better from last night?
I do feel a little better, but there's a perpetual chill that I haven't been able to quite shake.
Right. Give me your hands really quickly.
I present my hands to you.
I will hold them, and they will begin to emit a golden light as I attempt to cleanse the affliction from your body. Is there a counteract number I should be making? Excellent. Okay.
Yes, the rank is 10.
Is it 28?
Okay. What do you think this looks like?
Well, our hands have this dull golden glow, and as my magic begins to pour through Arcelia, it actually begins to radiate from her veins. It is all throughout her body, and as such the magic must penetrate through the circulatory system, so to speak, or at least that is how my magic is interpreted. And as such, you will notice that you begin to glow this golden hue. All of your veins begin to slowly fill up with this golden light as it reaches up to where the frost originally was put into you.
It's warm. It feels like sunlight through a glass window.
Do you feel it working?
I feel the numbness leaving my fingertips, so it must be taking hold.
Excellent. It's good.
Try to take it easy today, just in case.
Yes. Let's. Right. Are you able to stand?
It'll take a lot more than just a bite to keep me down, and I will carefully stand back up.
Very good. Excellent.
Is there anything that you need?
That is a good question. let's talk the next time that we're going to set down for the night, eh?
Yeah, we can do that.
We've got things to do.
We do.
Worlds to save, things of that nature.
And we've got a lot of time to talk. Alright, well, let me go see if I can find you some breakfast.
Thank you.
I will go wander over to the yurt meat pot. See what's floating around in there today.
Sure. Just like mystery meat in there.
Yep. Oh, someone's thrown carrots in here. No. Oh, that's not a carrot.
It's just, it doesn't really taste bad. It just doesn't taste good. You know, it's like if you don't season anything. It's like if a bunch of white dudes made it.
Everything's just boiled without any seasoning, no salt, no nothing. At least it's warm.
I'm gonna walk out the tent and go to try to attempt fishing. And after seeing
Thank
that,
gods.
I think what you learned yesterday from kind of going out on your fishing expedition is it's probably gonna be better if you try to do it on the high ice, like after you actually go down there.
I guess maybe I'll make a
You could
visual
go
route
hunting.
since
You could go hunting for like some rabbits maybe, or even some wolves. There might be some of those around.
you said there's nothing here.
Yeah,
so,
it's like rough.
I'll just wait. What I'll do is I'll look down in the area and try to since I spoke to
Lockney?
what's his name? Lockney gave me some tips and stuff. So I will look for where the sun hit. There is a sun, right? Is it not dark? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only like a few hours of nighttime. It's probably only like 3 or 4 hours max.
Okay, then I will look wherever the sun hits the ice in the kind of like a more sheen position. Yeah, which means the water is probably like a lot. The ice is thinner.
Yeah.
And just kind of mark mentally where it would be.
It's brutal. It's like one of those things where you just, you have to cover your eyes really to look out onto the high ice. It's like there's a reason that Ulukuk has that thin snow blindness, the glasses. Yeah. It's brutal.
Yep.
Just by looking down there, I mean, make me a survival check.
Okay. Open this. All right. Let's see. Efficiencies. Survival. 24.
Okay. So it looks bleak out there. Like it's like looking at an ocean with just some snowdrifts and like ice. Yeah.
Jesus.
You can see like it. There might be some like chasms and stuff out there. Like it sucks. It's gonna be rough. You'll be lucky if you can do like 8 hours of travel in a day. And you will probably have to take breaks.
Take a deep inhale of breath. And just suck my teeth and eat some rations from my bag. I'm not touching that eared meat. And I will begin to train again to wait for everyone. Or run around.
Sure.
To expand my lungs.
Yeah. I think we all see you, having some breakfast or what have you, and just kind of getting yourselves prepared. Ilakni, I believe you provided Ilakni with some of your old furs to make the trip back to the ice gate. So he'll eat and Yara, you tended to his wounds the previous day.
Indeed.
And he just kind of readies himself. And
And if we have any extra gear stashed away in one of our deep, endless pockets, I think I'd like to try to persuade the group to share at least a dagger, perhaps a crossbow.
I have a short bow.
He kind of
Short bow
read
and
my
some arrows.
mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna walk up to him before he left.
So I imagine both Malavik and I kind of approach our arms full of extra stuff that we've gathered that is unnecessary for the rest of the group.
I will take the dagger out. It's kind of ironic. Guess it's the professor's dagger. Won't tell him that. And a +1 dagger. And like I don't know what kind of fighter you are. But here's a +1 dagger. And I won't say +1, obviously. I'll be like, here's a dagger.
Well, we
Here's a
removed.
dagger with some.
Yeah, we removed. I think we removed that striking rune from the dagger.
Oh, okay. Well, here's a dagger.
That's right, yes.
And a sling.
Yeah.
So I'll give up both those, sling and dagger.
As you pull the dagger out, I will make eye contact with you, and it's probably pretty clear that I'm about to tell him exactly what it is, unless you try to stop me. Perhaps it's a type of poetic justice. This blade belonged to Riddleson.
He also almost killed me with it.
He holds it in his hand.
I recognize it. It was. Thank you.
It serves you well. It is already in much better hands than it used to.
You can see him like.
Those.
You can see him like test out the balance a little bit. Clearly knows what he's doing. Spins it, probably like spins it around in his hand. Checks to see the grip.
Good.
Okay, I'll delete those from the inventory. Also give them the slings. Yes. Thank you for the advice for the ice. It's pretty hopeless out there, but if you were able to make it back from the Black Frost, maybe we have a chance. And I'll throw my forearm out in a gesture.
Extends his hand out the same way. Shakes.
We come from different sides of the world. But at the end of the day, we fight for the same cause. And people's losses, remembered, heavy on my mind. I will give it all I got.
I am sure you will succeed. I only
Somebody has
remember bits and pieces from our confrontation when I was not myself. But you are very capable fighters. If anyone can succeed, I think it is you.
Well, it won't be worth it unless you make it back to your tribe. So, go with care.
Thank you.
And I will turn and walk towards. Then I'll stop and look back and say, whatever I did, I will make it pay 10 times fold. And then I will continue to walk towards here to pack up my belongings.
Yeah. Are you all sort of just like helping take things down at this point?
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, with the yurt, we just need to pull on a tab, and then it just
Yeah, it does all that.
Collapses into its own yurt meat.
I'm having flashbacks last week.
Yeah. Ilakni gathers himself up, checks everything, and then says,
Thank you for rescuing me. I'm sorry for what you have been put through.
I think Karun will actually walk up to him and she'll say, "It was really nice seeing another elf. I wish I had time to get to know the Ilvarani a little more. Maybe on the way back."
Maybe.
Okay, don't get all sentimental. We should probably go.
Safe travels, Ilokni.
Safe travels. Beware the high ice. It has many dangers. Prepare yourselves, and you will arrive safely. Good luck. May Findaled Lara watch over you. No matter what happens, may the rest of your lives be beautiful. Ilakni hikes up all of his furs, begins to walk off, waving goodbye.
So this is it then. We're all packed.
Question. I still have stage 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As good as I'll be.
I'm sorry, you were
The
cleansed. You were cleansed. It's gone.
Okay, so I will remove the cold 5 now.
Yes.
And drained, if you had not, I believe, was the other one.
Thank you. Alright, 70 days.
Yes.
Begins now.
So, like, my ladder isn't going to be long enough to go down there. You know that, right?
Ooh. I have fly prepared. I could use that and hold someone.
I have that magic as well, and we also have climbing gear, if needed as well.
I will
Yeah.
run down.
You will climb? You
Yes.
will not fly?
No.
So we have Snowy Owl, and then we've got 3 humans with us, correct?
Yep. 10 people total. Or, I'm sorry, 9 people total.
Snowy Owl, can you carry one of your companions down?
I can carry one down, yes.
I cannot fly indefinitely, but I would make it quick. So potentially could take 2 if I can get up and down in 5 minutes.
Yes, mine is the same situation.
If you don't mind, could you prioritize helping them down?
Yes, I can do that.
I'll climb down with Malavik then.
I will set everything needed for the climb. I think it's good for me.
Yes, we
I
have
must keep training my body as it goes through changes.
Yes, the cold is bitter. Before we go, I was able to commune with the mosquito witch. A warning was given. It will get worse and more dangerous. Perhaps more than we expect. And at least my ties. She seemed to be not anxious, but worried, perhaps, that my connection will be weakened. I do not know if that will be for other deities or entities. Looking at Malavik with that note. Be wary.
Was your situation similar, Urshtok?
Similar to...
The sample that I woke up with this morning, and at this point I would have probably told the others as well what it is I saw. Just as a heads up, I'm not keeping that a secret.
Perhaps. She could not remove what ties me. I saw a chain wrapped around my head. She attempted to remove it but could not. And urged me with haste to get to this spire. We may be running out of time.
Very well. I will dig through my bag of holding that I've got, and I will take out the climbing pack, all of the kits and like all the pitons and everything like that that the others might need. And we will keep an eye on you as well along the way. All right? No harm shall come to either of you.
All right. We'll take it nice and slow. I'll begin to fashion essentially an anchor for us up at the top, driving a piton down into solid ground near the cliff face, and essentially trying to wrap ourselves in the rope.
Okay. So, for those that are scaling the cliffside, which seems to be Arcelia and Malavik, we have some checks to make. Snowy Owl will be taking... Oh, wow. Enuma is way stronger than I was thinking. Holy shit. Oh, they both are. What? What about the Nigi?
All of us look over at the humans and they're just hella swole all of a sudden.
And then there's Danigi who's like...
Yeah, who got weaker for some reason,
Yeah.
like terribly weaker.
Yeah,
This
so
will be a baby.
hilarious. They all have a +4 mod for strength. Thought that was pretty amazing. So yeah, I think that Snowy Owl would probably aim to take Enuma down first. Probably. How long would it take you to get down if you're flying, I wonder? Probably
it's
not.
400 feet up. Oh, I'm told.
double speed if you're going down, as well
25 to
as
30 feet.
how many seconds are in a round?
6.
6.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
So
So
We'd
it's
probably
10
be able to
rounds
do it.
for a minute. Let's see. Let's see if the average speed is 30 feet per action. And you do 3 actions to fly down. Let's see. So 90, effectively. 90 feet. Should not be that bad. It's really only... it's really only like 30 to 40 seconds to fly down. To fly up is going to be longer. To
If
fly
it
up,
helps. 1.5 meters a second.
to fly?
For moving at a 30-foot per round, or per action, I should say.
Yeah.
So I guess it'd be 90. Let's see here.
Yeah, 90 feet per 90 feet per 6
4.5
seconds.
meters a second.
Well, meters switching to meters doesn't help.
By 3, yeah, by 3. Okay,
Jeez.
I'll do feet
Let's
per
call
second. There we
let's
go.
call it probably
15
40.
feet a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Technically, if you throw them down, and
Oh my god!
you save yourself some time.
Yeah, let's call it it's probably somewhere in the range of like 27 to 40 seconds to fly all the way down.
Now, prior to us flying down, I am scooping out that spyglass that I have because I want to make sure that we are not going to get attacked and anybody climbing is not going to get attacked. So I will be trying to take a look unless somebody with better perception would like to yoink it from me. I look
what's
around.
This? Oh, can I try?
Oh yes! Why, look, how wonderful! Isn't it lovely? Yes, it's the lens is articulated in a very particular way to make it so that the vision is a little bit clearer on distant objects.
Ooh, I looked through it.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Spyglass. Oh, jeez, that's so bad. 25.
Yep. It's just, I mean, kind of what you'd expect. It's just like,
Blazing lights.
it's just a sea of ice, you know? Like there's some ridges, there's some canyons and things down immediately below. It just looks like there's a bunch of snow down there that's probably cascaded and blown off. So there's like big snow drifts. I mean, who knows how much of that is like ice underneath, you know? But it's essentially lots of snow piled up at the bottom of the cliff.
Oh, we'll have to be careful. It's a bit difficult to distinguish the terrain, but there might be snowbanks around. We might not be directly hitting ice when we land. So
Very
perhaps
good.
we should try to have someone fly down first.
All right.
I could take someone and fly down and leave them there if it is safe, and then come back up.
Oh
and
no,
inform.
someone else is going to have to test that. I'm not doing it. I'm
I
not
look-
just
Oh.
waiting down there for death while everyone else is just taking their sweet time to fly up and then come back down. What, are you crazy?
I didn't
I
think
look-
about Karun. We don't have someone to carry Karun down.
We will take multiple trips. We have to.
All right.
I look to Denigi and their crew.
Yeah.
Though I know Denigi well enough. Would you like to be the one to head down with me and stay and scout while I come back and get the next?
I can do this, yes.
Very well. I suppose the easiest way. And I like crouch down for a piggyback. Like
Aw.
to give one.
Nagi just, hops aboard.
I mean, I'm almost 7 feet tall, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will return shortly.
Suddenly,
cast
snow
fly.
sharks.
Upon myself and
It's Jeff from Marvel Rivals.
Oh, no!
That dickhead is here too, you son of a bitch! Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. So your fly speed is actually 20 feet. So figure it-
25.
Yeah.
Fly is 20 equal to my speed or 20, whichever is greater.
Okay.
So my
Mine is
fly
the
speed
same.
is 25.
Okay. So yeah, figure it's closer to like 40 seconds to get down.
Sure.
And you begin. Let's see here. You gotta do a check, I think.
Not for holding them, yes. Flying, no. Flying is just, I have fly speed, so I do it.
Fly to the ground. Use an
Let's
action.
drop the
fly.
baby.
Airborne. Yeah, I guess so. We don't have any
Unless you-
wonderful fast
Unless-
movements.
Unless
exactly.
you're having him do a difficult maneuver in flight. Just
Which
for
I'm going
argument's sake.
down.
Yeah.
I'm
Indeed.
not doing. This is the first time I've ever flown.
Can we?
So I'm
what does
just
this look
straight
like?
up.
What does this look like, Rashtak?
Yes, for my flight, a number of beetles burst out of my robes and make what look like insect wings, but out of beetles as they hold and cling together. And an excessive amount of buzzing of hard carapaced wings as I step off of the cliff and drop.
You just see a Rashtak right off the edge. Are you watching the whole time, Arcelia?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, you
The
see a Rashtok
spyglass.
sort of sailing down towards the ground. Do you think this is like particularly graceful here, Arashtok?
As graceful as perhaps a Hercules beetle flying.
Okay.
So it's very solid. It is not like a little,
Floaty.
hummingbird.
It's like floaty.
Yeah.
It just
It's almost gliding,
yeah.
falling with style.
Holy shit, Arashtok. It's so fucking cold. Like you cascade off the side of the cliff and like hits you right in the face. Absolute brutal wind currents like blowing right back up towards you as you begin to descend. Down below you can see the snow that Arcelia was talking about. Denigi's like holding super tight. And she says, are you sure you will be able to stop in time?
Yes. It is a spell. I have full control.
Okay. I've never done this before.
Neither have I.
Okay. The first
When
time you've seen Denigi freak out the entire trip. She's holding so tight, like there's probably a moment where she's got you like a little bit by the neck, Arashtok.
Yes.
This is so cute in my head, especially because she's like this bloodthirsty, ruthless huntress, and she's so skilled.
Yeah. She hasn't had really to deal with heights this whole time, and this Arashtok is still. This is the first time he's flying, and just for shits and giggles, Arashtok, give me an acrobatics check.
Will do.
Let's see how graceful this is.
I zoom in.
Not.
Yeah,
I'm a
19.
It's a beetle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit like a bug landing on a screen door. There's that really sudden like kind of sound. Arashtok, you land like a little bit hard. There's snowbanks, and I think you like just kind of like slide along the snowbanks and maybe like tumble a little bit with Denigi on your back as you into the snow.
Have they made it?
Up. Shake. Denigi.
There's just a hand
Up.
that pokes up from the snow. Thumbs
Lock
up.
hands. Pull them up. All right.
They're fine.
I have to get the next one. Be safe.
All right.
And then I immediately start ascending.
I'm just gonna start pegging the ice and using snowshoes. Good. I made sure I said ice really fast. Jesus.
Not fast enough.
Instantaneous, you're still.
Yeah, I was just like, I know to.
I don't know what
that's
you're
literally what
talking
you're
about.
doing with the ice. Anyway, hammering my
Pitons.
Yes.
pitons in the ice and extending the rope, wrapping rope around, and making sure they're very secure. I'm taking my time going down, even though my climb speed is the same as my regular speed for my bullshit.
Okay, so Malavik is gonna start climbing. Arcelia, are you basically staying on the same line as Malavik? Are you doing a separate one?
I'll actually belay him for a little while. So I'll just stay to anchor the top just in case. So I will not descend right away.
Okay.
Thank you, rock climbing class in high school.
Yeah. So the climbing kits, let's see. You have 2 climbing kits, and each one has 50 feet of rope, which I'm assuming you've tied together. So that's 100 feet of rope. Then you have another 50 feet of rope, another 50 feet of rope. And I think that's it. I think you got 200 feet of rope right now. So you can tell after you've anchored the first piton, Malavik, the rope does not extend all the way down. It's about halfway down the cliff.
That's fine. I'm just going to use my strength. Just go down by locking in.
I do have 2 extra pieces of rope in my bag of holding as well.
That's what I was including.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, I think.
And
so,
mine?
Yeah. So
I have
get
one-
rope in mine.
So I don't know if your
That's
personal.
5.
I don't know if your personal inventories have rope, but there's 1 in each climbing kit for 2. Then I see in the stash, I see 1, 2 more. So I see 4
I have rope as well
on you.
on me
Okay.
in my
I have
bag.
one on me too.
It just says rope.
Okay.
And then Yara said she has one?
Mine is the one that is in the spacious pouch for Yara.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got 300 feet of rope.
How high up are we?
400 feet.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I'll muscle my way down using ice picks and ice shoes and anything else with spikes. I can maneuver down.
Okie dokie.
Sure, there's cracks and all kinds of stuff in the wall as well.
There is the climbing check for you to make for an athletics check.
Also, I imagine that this wall is not one clean sheet of glass. I mean,
no.
there's like ridges and stuff that you
It's-
can rest on and
yeah.
stuff like that.
So what's interesting is like the temple itself was like ice glass almost, right? So that was like sheer. So this is definitely like more mountainous. You know, it has
Yeah, right,
things
right,
you
right.
can grab on. It's
That's
definitely
what it
easier.
was.
Still
Okay.
hard, but easier.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there's a check in the chat there for you, Malavik, as you begin your descent.
Can I re-roll that?
You can.
It wasn't a secret check, right? Okay.
It was not a secret check. Yeah, if it actually says your result in
There
the
we
chat,
go.
then it was not a secret check.
Okay.
Okay, so you spend a hero point to re-roll. Yeah, I think as you step out, Malavik, you just slip like immediately, like it's like whoop, and then you catch yourself with the rope, and you just hold on tight again. There was just that moment where you put your foot out, you know, testing to see where a good place to rest your foot is as you begin your climb, and you just slip right off, and there's probably that like butt clench moment for a half a second, and you grab onto the rope and
Tail
steady
is
yourself.
rigid.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and you begin to rappel your way down. Yara, are you waiting for Arashtak to come back up before you start flying?
Yes, so my plan is to wait to see how many times Arashtak can usher people, while also monitoring the other 2 while they are beginning their descent. So I will be staying at the top, basically kind of trying to see how many we have left, and if so, I do also want to try and make it so that I'm able to, along the way, try and ensure that we either replace the rope for them towards the bottom, since I can fly up and down, or, you know, just gather it up so that we have it for the future.
Okay. Very well. Arashtak, you are beginning your ascent while you see Malavik probably beginning his climb. Arcelia is steadying the rope at the top, sort of getting him into good position before they begin their descent.
And I believe if there's ridges, I would stop along the ridges to aid her down.
Sure. Yeah, it's probably more along the lines of like better handholds in some places.
Yeah, of course. Or like, you know, if there's a ridge, I'll help her down instead of having to jump down or like
Sure.
whatever.
I won't wait until Malavik goes all the way to the bottom, just once we have those anchor points.
Absolutely. Yeah, Malavik is hammering in some pitons along the way. You have to use a piton. I think it's like every. It's probably like every 20 feet or so.
I
Something
bought
along those-
100.
Oh yeah,
since
you're
that
good.
was all they had.
You got plenty. Yeah, you got plenty. 100 pitons? Holy shit!
They were cheap as hell.
Wow, nice. Yeah. Tink, 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 tink. The pitons definitely are making this easier for whoever else is climbing down.
Yeah, that was my whole thought process, is me taking the more dangerous routes to have higher strength and
Very smart.
planning a path.
I believe you said it was 40 seconds to go down, yes?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's
So it would double for me to go up.
Yep.
So that would mean I can do 3 trips, as in carry 3 people, down, up for 1 for 2 minutes, down, up for 2 minutes, and then down for the 40 seconds, and I would not be able to go up again. So I can take 3.
All right. And Snowy Owl, her capability, or their capabilities, pardon. What is the amount that they are able to take, or anything like that? I'm not sure how their fly works.
So Snowy Owl is probably the same kind of restriction.
Okay.
There.
All right. So we have 2 climbing, and then that's Snowy Owl and Arashtok flying. So they're able to take 3 each, you said?
Yep.
So that would be
everyone.
10 total.
Yep.
So
They could carry
all
it.
right.
Yep.
So
Because I can get the entirety
would I even
of...
need to cast fly then?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, actually, I would want to ensure I would cast fly on my way down to make sure the other 2 are safe.
All right.
In
And
case
to get
anything
any
goes
rope
wrong.
or anything on the way
Indeed.
down. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
I would take all of the group, Snowy Owl's group, except for Snowy Owl.
Sure. Okay. So, let's have a check from Arcelia then, since Arcelia is climbing.
All right. Let me remind you that I have a big, strong muscles.
Sure. You can use the thing in the chat there, the prompt.
Above me.
Athletics.
Athletics.
It says missing actor.
Missing
Oh, the
actor.
tokens.
Oh, do you need your token? That's weird.
Please.
It's also paused? No, that shouldn't matter.
I didn't need mine. I just
Yeah,
looked
just
at it. I
just
don't know,
click.
it's weird.
Make sure you don't have anything selected, and then do it. Maybe. Still not working. Okay. I will just
No.
add. Okay.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
It is an athletics check.
Reroll that with a hero point. 23.
Okay. Arcelia is definitely beginning to struggle up above you, Malavik.
I am
just
also
see, like-
flying, keeping an eye out as well.
Yeah. You just start to see like ice start to like tumble down the side.
How far up?
I would imagine halfway between the top and where you are right now.
Fuck. Okay. I will. Well, since I was stopping along the way before I was like sheer drop, I will try to hold the rope as tight as possible.
Sure. Give me an athletics check, Malavik.
Sure. Let's see. There we go. 37.
Yeah. So one of the pitons comes out. Ping! It just pops out. And you see Arcelia. Whoa! And she just kind of holds on to the rope. Maybe get some like rope burns, Arcelia, as you grab onto the rope. You feel it burning through your gloves. And Malavik, you just like hold the rope. You feel it like almost about to pull some other pitons out. And you like pull the rope back to the cliff. And Arcelia, you sort of get slammed into the side of the cliff as you make your way down to the next piton, not with any like solid footholds for a second. You see your feet like dangling down, trying to find the nearest place to rest your feet, and you find the spot where Malavik had rested to set up the piton.
Ah, shit.
To your right, calm yourself.
Sorry.
No, just make it down.
Having massive tits makes it extremely difficult to climb down.
I wouldn't know how to respond to that. I'll just hold the rope tighter.
Are you both okay over there? Malavik, you look a little flustered.
I won't say anything because normally I would be like, well, she almost died, but I'll just go and hold the rope closer to the wall as tight as possible.
Yeah, Arcelia's definitely like scrabbling a little bit to like get a good hold. Malavik, give me another athletics check. You are basically at the end of the rope now.
29.
Okay. Malavik, you begin to descend. However, you begin to slip.
Okay.
You're hammering in the pitons. You've got your, like, ice pick out to, like, help you descend. Like, tink, 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 tink. And then it just kind of slides against the ice. You're expecting to, like, have a second handhold. And now you're just, like, held by one hand. Give me an acrobatics check.
It's gonna suck. 15.
Okay.
I
Now
Acrobatics.
I need a reflex save.
Great.
You see Malavik begin to fall. Here, Yara. Malavik straight up, like, he tries to swing himself. You can see because the ice pick, he can't get like a good indentation into the ice. Tink, 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 tink. He's trying to like grab onto it, and he swings himself off to the side, and he's just falling for like a good 10 feet, and then he grabs onto a ledge, just like barehanded, like digging his fingers into the ice.
No.
Malavik, I'm here, all right?
I'll nod.
You've got this.
Okay. How far I'm up?
About 90 feet.
90. Okay. Look up to check on Arcelia.
Yeah, Arcelia, do you continue climbing, or are you waiting for Malavik?
I wait until Malavik seems steady and gives me the signal to continue.
I'll try to act cool.
Very cold.
Grit my teeth, and then I will try to slam my foot into the ice to get some kind of hold to feel for the next
Yeah,
ledge.
you got those, those grippy claw shoes on, right? The crampons. To, like, dig, like, you basically kick the ice to, like, get your claws in there. Okay. And let's have another athletics check. I'll put that in the chat again for you. Ooh. Yes, Malavik, you continue your descent now without the rope, and you are managing to find good footholds. You can see he's beginning his descent. He looks like he's found his rhythm now as he's descending.
Yeah, I'll be hammering in pitons along the way if possible. So
Sure.
she'll have something to step on. Because I don't want my descent to be the hardest one. All right. Step
Alright.
lightly. There's going to be a part where it becomes difficult.
Okay, here I go. And I descend.
Okay. Arcelia, make an athletics check.
Oh, I didn't hit the button. My bad.
Arcelia, you begin to descend the rope and the pitons, and it is very difficult. As you are descending, you slip some more. Your pickaxe and the rope just begins to sort of fall through your hands. You're trying to grab and slow yourself. Give me a fortitude save.
17.
You take 8 points of damage to your hands, effectively, as you are rope burns.
Yeah, come on.
Ice is just breaking off, and you can see it like tumbling down. Malavik, you kind of duck your head a little bit, just trying to keep an eye out for Arcelia as they begin to sort of slide down. Arcelia, I need a reflex save.
All right. $26.
Okay, Arcelia, you can't hold on to the rope. As you slide down, you start to just your hands start to burn so much. You're trying to keep your grasp, but your hands are just shaking so much. You let go and you start falling.
Is there any way I can make a reflex save to try to grab her?
You absolutely can.
If that's not enough, I can make a reroll.
I'm also flying to make sure this doesn't happen, and I have contingencies if he fails.
There is also a reaction called grab an edge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. There's an
arrest to fall, things like that.
No, arrest to fall is for flying. Grab an edge is separate if you are not flying but climbing. When you fall off or past an edge or other handhold, you may try to grab it, potentially stopping your fall. You must succeed at your choice of an acrobatics or reflex, usually the climb DC. If you grab the ledge, you can then climb or use athletics.
Okay. Malavik. You reach out to try to grab Arcelia, and unfortunately you miss.
Can I reroll?
I'm
can
scooping
re-roll.
in.
You're gonna be able to hold a 7 foot.
I have a contingency if we are falling, yes.
Oh, she has a contingency. I'll just let her do it.
Okay.
Are you sure you do not wish to try?
I mean,
You got a
that's
pretty
why I was
high roll.
asking. Can you catch a? I don't know how much.
I can,
weight
probably
like 250 pounds, probably.
times the fall speed.
Yeah.
Yes, I have Snap Leaf. Put it in the chat. I got it exactly for something like this. I scoop in. As soon as I see Malavik miss Arcelia, I am scooping in. I don't care how much she weighs or if I take damage for trying to grab onto her or anything. I am putting myself below her and I'm trying to arrest this fall.
Okay. We just see Malavik reaches out, and your fingertips probably just like brush past, and your hand gets slammed down. You see Arcelia fall. Yara, you rush in. What do you do?
I am trying as fast as I can to try and scoop her up. So if I need to maneuver in flight, I will do so.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
30.
Oh, shit!
I'm not letting her fall!
Holy shit! Yara, what does it look like?
I see that I have faith that Malavik is going to be able to grab her, but I notice that she might just be falling a little too fast. So as soon as I see this, I am not too far away. I made sure to levitate close towards them. I rush in as quickly as I can to try and intercept. I go at a diagonal so that I land below her, so to speak. So my body weight is going to take the brunt of her hitting me. So there's no way I'm going to miss her by trying to grab her or anything. It's going to be my body is underneath her.
Yeah. What does your fly look like? What is it? What does your wings look like? What's going on?
Well, for me, it's not necessarily a wings or anything. It is like a levitation, so to speak. I'm an oracle, so we're weird and creepy. So I suppose that there's kind of a bluish glow about me, and my skirts are flowing, sort of, especially with all this wind that is going. My hair is also going as well. And as I scoop in, the light around me begins to flicker ever so more brightly because I'm panicked now. I'm putting all of my effort into catching her.
Okay. You nimbly sort of spin and put yourself underneath Arcelia and hits like a ton of bricks, and you sort of catch her. The wind sort of picks up as this is all happening, whistling past.
All right, Arcelia, do you trust me?
Of course.
All right. As soon as we get close enough for it, I'm going to trigger my Snap Leaf in order to go ahead and grant us the effects of gentle landing, which basically it will raise a magical updraft to arrest our fall. Instead of falling at full speed, we are going to go ahead and slow to a 60 feet per round for the duration of it.
Yeah. So 10 foot per second, effectively, as you feel this intense, frightfully cold wind sort of blow your hair up, blow your furs up as you begin to slow, still moving quickly, but significantly slower as you are buffeted by this cushion of air. Boom.
Are you all right?
That was so cold.
I will just hug her.
I hug you as much as I can. My bones are clattering against you.
You're all right. You're all right. We're okay.
You hear Malavik from the cliff.
I'm just laying on my back at that point, like, I'll start working my way down.
Absolutely. The rest of you begin to make your way down, finally to the bottom of the cliff. The high ice lays before you. You see this white and blue crevasses, hills, and small mountains of ice. It's beautiful in its own way, but it's also overwhelming in more ways than one. The vastness of it all. The emptiness. The brutality. And the overwhelming reflection of the sunlight buffeting you all. It's overwhelming. As you get yourselves settled at the bottom of the cliff, readying to make the trip across the high ice, I think Ulukuk will sort of speak up and mention about the crampons, or I'm sorry, Enuma will speak up about your crampons and the snowshoes, and will say, you might need to change your snowshoes or the crampons as we move on the journey. Whenever we come across a chasm, you would want to switch to your crampons. But most of the trip, we will be using snowshoes. Does everyone have your snow blinders?
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the appropriate gear.
You all begin to gear up now for the walking as opposed to the climbing. Now, the rope and the pitons. You have several pitons that were left in the cliff. The ropes, what are you doing there? Were you trying to remove those as you came down, Malavik? Did somebody go back up?
Yeah, I was trying to move what I can as I came down. Obviously, I won't be able to get the one that's at the top or anything. So salvage as many as I could.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll take either a survival check or an athletics check, unless somebody is going to fly up and try and remove the rope.
I don't assume after the shit that I've just pulled that 5 minutes would have been enough. So I can cast it again if we need it, but it depends on what you would like to do, Malavik.
34. Just make a check.
Okay. Yeah, Malavik, it's going to take you a bit of time because you're kind of like trying to pull. Yeah, you're trying to pull out like each piton that you attached, you know? So roll me a D6.
6.
Okay, it's going to take you about an hour to do this. It's repeated attempts. You know, you have to take breaks and stuff because it's like using those fucking ropes in the gym. You know, like you're just this brutal dude. Like, oh, your traps, your arms are going to be burning for days after this shit. Yeah.
So I was training for days before we did this. I would gather out what I could, and I finally make it down. Everyone else is probably having conversations and having fun, and I'm just looking at everyone in disgust. No, I was kidding. I'm
motherfuckers.
Fuck you all. No, I'll walk over and throw down the pitons and the rope and sit, kind of like, I don't care if it's cold. I have to find something to sit down on and rest. Fucking tired. Try to catch a large orc woman flying past me and trying to like steady on a rope.
Just climb down a
climbing
cliff.
down
Yeah.
400 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking tired. So, yep.
Yeah, weirdly
I'll
enough, in
be
theory,
pretty
you're the
quiet.
one who climbed the most because of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celia got a
got
little
about
bit of
half
a
the
break.
break. Yeah.
Yeah, I only climbed half as much.
Yep.
But at the same time, it feels good because I need to have this kind of training in this environment.
Yeah. So you see the expedition before you, the high ice. You prepare yourselves. And after a little bit of a rest, you gather yourselves up and prepare yourselves for the trip. It's so much colder down here. Fucking hell. You didn't think it could get any colder. I don't know if any of you have experienced extreme cold before, but it is fucking horrific. It feels like your eyeballs are freezing.
It's like you have no clothes on.
Yeah,
Your
it
bones
feels
hurt.
it feels like your eyeballs are freezing, you know? You need good facial coverage just to like not have things freeze and get frostbitten. The wind is blowing directly all over this place. It's hitting the cliff behind you, and it's horrific. I don't know how well prepared you were mentally to make this trip, but seeing the ice before you and how vast it is and seemingly endless is overwhelming. But we are entering exploration mode for this trip. Now, few things a little bit different here. There is effectively a crossing the high ice action that you can take to make this trip. A normal day on the ice that has been broken down to you by Enuma and Lochni. Step 1 is your daily preparation. Step 2 is you doing the cross the high ice activity as your exploration activity. And step 3 is effectively well, actually I won't say that part. That's for me. Step 3 is basically taking a break. You can only cross the high ice for a certain amount of hours per day, and that includes using the yurt. If you did not have the yurt, you would only be able to travel for 4 hours a day. The yurt doubles your effective traveling time. So it's a good thing you found that. And then resting. That's the trip. Or doing whatever other activities you would like. Down here, just climbing down to the bottom of the cliff, it's so much worse than what you experienced near the temple. Way colder. The wind is way more harsh. The sun beating down on you. Everything is overwhelming. So, crossing the high ice. Let us begin. For your day, you can do a few things to cross the high ice. You can assist the expert. You can avoid notice. You can defend. You can investigate. You can scout. You can support. Or you can use magic. What would you all like to do?
I'm a scout. I don't have that on my thing. Hold on. There it is. Scout. Wink. There we go.
Could you paste that list somewhere? Thank you.
Is covering tracks available?
No.
Okay.
You can
I
make
suppose
the
it is
assumption.
ice.
Yeah, you can make the assumption that tracks will most likely be covered pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The wind is constantly blowing snow.
You know, no one gets lost. Thanks.
Yeah, that would be
You said
bad.
investigate. What was the other one?
Avoid notice, yeah.
I'm just grabbing them from this list, dumping it in my thing.
I will follow the expert with Malavik for scouting.
I think Karoon
Defend.
will avoid notice.
All right. And Arcelia, what is it you wanted to do?
What does support mean in this context?
You can use your skills to help keep equipment in working order, treat minor afflictions and wounds as they arise, help to protect against frostbite, jury-rig temporary solutions. This is a thing, Karoon is probably good at. It's crafting and medicine checks, effectively.
Oh, okay.
You can use magic to aid in the expedition. That's Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Religion. You can investigate. You can defend.
I think I will investigate, and what this will look like is essentially I'm going to be taking detailed notes. I understand that we are in a bleak, effectively a wasteland, but notes such as the supplies that we're using, logistics, how everyone is doing, essentially keeping a survival journal. That way we can keep track of how many resources we're using, and presumably what we're going to need in order to make the trip back. So a lot of micromanaging information and journaling as we're going along.
Sure. Okay.
And Rostrak, you were assisting Malavik, yes? Alright.
Yes.
So I suppose you said medicine checks and like preventing frostbite and maintaining everyone pretty much as part of support, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll probably do that unless you think use magic would be more preferable for what it is we need.
Yeah, it's like a combination of spells to cover a duration of 8 hours. You can cast cantrips, you can do stuff like that.
I'll just support. Make life simple.
Okay.
I think it'll actually make more sense if what I said I wanted to do, if it's considered a type of support, because it is kind of logistical, like making sure everyone has a pair of working shoes and stuff like that. So nothing magical or medicine,
It'd
but
be crafting checks.
I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
I guess as Rashtak is assisting me, I'll be listening to what he has to say about finding ways to purify, maybe frozen ice or something. Maybe we can make warm drinks or hot drinks in the yurt to keep people's insides warm at least. I'll be on the lookout for that too while scouting.
Most of the conversation would be either using prestidigitation to warm, but we do have a lot of water still in kegs for the trip.
All right.
Okay.
What do I need to do? Oh, make a survival check.
Ah, yes, and I need to as well.
Before.
Okay. I'm sorry, Rostok, you are assisting the expert.
Yes, and what do I need to roll for that?
It's the matching skill, so
specifically?
survival.
Okay, and it says I get bonuses as a result. I'm just not sure exactly.
Yeah. How skilled are you, Malavik? You're an expert?
Mm-hmm. No,
So I
expert.
think it's a +1
2.
or a +2. I can't remember.
Where the hell is that? There it is. Follow the expert. There it is. The ally must be expert in the skill. While following the expert, you match their tactic. Thanks to your ally's assistance, you can add your level as a proficiency bonus to the associated skill check, even if you're untrained.
Jesus.
I am trained.
Your level?
It says
Holy moly.
proficiency bonus of your level.
Damn.
Additionally, you can gain a circumstance bonus to your skill check based on your ally's proficiency. So in theory, I could add plus 9. Plus 11?
Yes, plus 11.
So this plus 11.
35.
Yeah, oh, gods. All right.
Okay, works for me.
That will be for my roll.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see if this does what I want it to. Okay, that'd be a 31 then.
Okay. Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to affect how long the trip takes, effectively. You are getting expedition points that I'm keeping track of.
Cool.
And that will determine how long this journey takes. Okay, and Karun needs to make a stealth check.
Slow and steady. Can't arrive dead.
Can I do this from here? Nope. Not going to re-roll that.
Oh, stealth.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Karun is like trying to hide you guys as best as possible, but I think a lot of those places end up being not the safest. So as a group, you probably come to the conclusion to probably just take the safer routes as opposed to the more stealthy, like going into ravines and like not being directly on top, you know, just in this like open expanse. So let's see how many. Okay. Okay. Need to do some math. The first leg of your trip is going to take you longer than expected. You're going to add on
Makes sense.
1, 2,
Our first time out here.
3.
Well,
3 extra days.
first time.
So, the first leg of your trip, 28 days as you make your way across the ice. Get to your
28
first
days.
Yeah, to get
Fucking
through the
month.
first leg. That is a full month, effectively.
Jeez.
That's with a 31 too. That's horrifying.
I need a crit.
Sorry,
If
I'm
it's 28 days
advancing the
without
clock.
danger? I was supposed to say without danger. It's not too
We're
bad.
not done yet. We're not
No.
done yet.
Okay. never mind.
No, it's totally without danger. I like that thought
Oh,
process.
my bad. I should
Everything
Oh,
is
just-
nice and safe.
28 days later, we're great.
Days are nice. It's a vacation.
Okay.
So walk in the
So,
snow park.
along the journey, this first leg of your trip, 28 days have passed. As far as rations go, are you pretty much subsisting on the provided yurt meat
Hell no.
or Rostak's pouch or your regular rations? What are you doing?
I'm looking for fishing holes along this whole trip. It's the whole point of me scouting. Yeah.
And we
Fishing
do have
holes,
some
rabbits,
rations, too.
anything. Yeah, I'm looking for anything that's moving, really.
Okay. So,
Even bugs and larvae. Fuck it. Which should probably be none, but you never know.
yeah. So, effectively, when you stop, when you are resting in the yurt, Malavik will probably go outside and load
Try
up.
my best.
Yeah, trying to do some fishing. Arashtok helps you with this, Malavik. You're actually able to, for this first leg of the journey, completely cover the food. The food is
Sick.
completely covered. That was your bonus for your...
My
for
proud Nephilim daddy.
Yeah. You're able to catch enough fish to keep everybody alive, effectively. Maybe there's a little bit of food that you scrape together from the yurt meat or in the Rashtok's pouch, just to, like, you know, fill in the gaps.
We're actually seizing it.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's just fish the entire time, that's
it's
horrific.
gonna get old real quick.
Yeah, that's gonna get old after a week.
Real quick.
Yeah.
We'll try to find new fancy ways to make it taste better.
Yeah.
Wrapping it in like whatever leaves and
Yeah. The trip is slow going. This is brutal. And during this last leg of the trip, it gets significantly colder. I need everybody to make me. This is going to be
Fortitude.
I'm almost positive it is. I'm just double checking. You have a couple choices. You can wait out the cold, or you can try and push through it. What would you like to do?
We have a lot of people. This is not just us doing
9
this. I would say wait out. I would go out and scout the area. Notice that if there's canyons or any kind of like overlifts, that the wind is going to be bouncing off that and be even more treacherous. Pushing through probably sounds like traveling at night as well. So no.
It would be your normal travel, just to be clear. Your normal travel. You're just kind of just trying to grin and bear it through the cold.
Let me do something better. Since Arcelia has been spending a lot of time with Malavik, and Arashtak has been spending a lot of time with Malavik recently, instead of... I always went with my physical attributes of how we should handle things, but I would start looking at people's mental. If you're traveling 28 days on the ice, open ice, and eating the bland food, people are probably starting to get a little tense. So I would look at people's mental state and decide to put an input, not decide for the group, how everyone's holding together.
Yeah, go for it. Make a perception check. That's a crit. Yeah. How do you all think you're feeling at this point? And again, this is kind of the end of the first leg of the journey here.
28 days.
This is a month of traveling, and it's gotten colder. It's gotten significantly colder.
So in our travels, if we are to brave the cold, so to speak, I, as a medical professional, would note the signs of, frostbite and things like that. Would it be my opinion, then, that I think we should continue? Because that would be my priority. Everyone's health.
Look at it like this. If you push through the cold, everyone has to endure it effectively. They have to use their fortitude to get through it. And if they are struggling, they will become fatigued.
And that will slow us all down, no matter how well anybody else makes a check. So yeah, I would look at everybody's like mental, how they're feeling.
You also have no idea how long this extreme cold will last.
Yeah. So based off how everyone's feeling, I'll put my input in and relay that to the group. I've been a lot quieter, probably the last stretch of those, maybe 10 days of that trip. And more so monitoring everyone.
Yeah. How the rest of you look, Malavik, at this point?
I think Arashtak looks good, actually, because every day, the 8 hours of travel, I feel no effects of the weather. I am comfortable. So I seem fine.
Yeah, I think I'll just make a fortitude save for Karun. Actually, we'll do a will save. Probably makes more sense. Yeah, I think Karun probably just kind of comes off as, I mean, it couldn't get much worse, right? Right.
Right. So normal. Anybody else?
The companions of Snowy Owl look, I mean, they're used to this. They look like they're okay.
I am obviously struggling, but you've seen me at worse points. My training with the Burning Sun clan, though not extreme cold, I have been through extreme heat, and also a variety of wastelands in my travels. The desolation is no stranger to me, and I make an effort to try to lift people's spirits whenever I can, often referring back to my journal and bringing up rekindling kind and warm-hearted memories that we made together.
Okay, looks like we're pushing through.
All right.
Unless you have something to add. Sorry, I thought you
Oh
already had it.
no, I think if everyone else is doing all right, I will put my faith in that. I'm determined to get to where we need to go.
All right. Everybody, please make a basic fortitude save.
I don't know why it's not working for me.
Maybe log out, log back in.
Okay.
Might not
So-
be that. It might be the ownership or some shit. I'll try and figure it out after the session.
I rolled for Ancestral Geometry, which is the tattoo that Rashtok gave me. And it was a 19 that I could swap in for fortitude saves, but it has been some days now, yes? So should I re-roll that? And see if I get fortitude again or anything?
I think you can use what you had.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, so that would be...
I didn't tell you how long this was going to be. I was
so
just
that
trying to
would be-
speed up the journey a little bit.
That would be a 19 plus 15 then.
Sure. Okay. It's 35.
So
or
34.
29 for me.
Okay. Karoon will become fatigued. Unfortunately. I think she would save her last hero point. I don't want to use that in case. Is there any other bullshit she's got?
And you gave her one at the start of the session, right?
No, she doesn't get one for the start.
Oh, she's not here. Right.
She has potions. I don't know if any of those. She has something that helps her with. I don't think fortitude though. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's mostly perception.
Yeah, she got some new shit, so I'm just checking. Oh, no, that's a bomb. Probably doesn't want to use that.
Or
That's a
does
bomb.
she?
Fuck it, I'll blow myself up. Then. Don't care.
If I light
There's a
myself
bomb at
on
the cold.
fire, that
Mhm.
will make me warmer, right?
Science. Exactly how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Okay, so Karoon is going to become fatigued. You push through the cold. Karoon is... Yara, you're on support. I think you notice, like, as you were traveling, like, oh my god, it's horrible. As you are moving through this, it's a combination of the wind, the, like, everything is just buffeting you. It's that, like, quintessential image of you all, like, snowshoes. Like, you could barely see shit. Like, as the wind is just blowing the snow. It's not even a blizzard. It's just the wind blowing the snow up off the ground and, like, just smacking you in the face as you continue to, like, push forward. Slow going. Karoon is like, okay, it's really freaking cold now. Oh, I can't feel my face. Is my face still moving? Is it moving? Am I even talking, or am I delusional?
We can hear you, darling. Now, do I get the idea that using a torch in this situation would be terrible in any sort of way?
It's not gonna help you.
You ain't gonna have no torch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just gonna blow it
I'm
up.
just trying to pull all the stops out for her, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should stop. Oh, brutal.
How long have we traveled this?
2
particular day?
hours.
2? Did I hear that?
We still fresh, baby. Like,
For today, I would do this. I don't know if it would help. While Karun is worried about all of the cold, my staff does have resist energy, which I would give her cold resist.
Yeah.
There, Karun. That hopefully helps. I'll let go.
Oh, wow. That's great. I can feel my lips again. Oh, wow. Ooh. Okay, now the eyes. Can you cast it on my eyeballs, please?
It's only for all of you. Don't you have goggles?
I'm wearing them, aren't I?
Something
Did I
that
forget?
she'd say.
Did I forget to put them on?
Is Karun wearing their goggles?
She's wearing them, yeah.
Well, then, Karun, that the ice wind shouldn't be affecting your eyes. That may be
Maybe they're already
psychosomatic.
frozen.
How many fingers?
12.
all right.
I don't have
Scout
6.
ahead as much as possible to see if we can find somewhere set up. I'm assuming the closer we get to the center, the colder it's gonna get. Yeah.
Well, it is effectively the North Pole that it is aimed for here.
Yeah.
So, do you press on? Do you rest? What do you do?
We definitely resting if she's dying back there. I mean, I would yell out. We've only been going for 2 hours.
Okay. So
With that,
can we keep going or do we stop?
if my spell helped you, we should keep going.
Yeah.
We can only use the yurt once a day, yes?
Correct.
Yes, so perhaps... I'm sorry, Karun.
Great. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Stand behind me. I can work as a windshield for you.
Okay. Sorry to cut you. Sorry to cut you off, Malvik. What did you say?
Oh, I don't remember.
You were scouting ahead, I believe.
Oh
is what you
yeah.
had said.
Oh that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was scouting ahead to see if there was any areas we can go to block some of the wind and stuff. And that's the least I can do, I guess, because I don't want to stop when I keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another 2 hours pass. You do your best to shield the group from the cold, and after these next 2 hours, the cold snap starts to go away. You feel it get a little bit warmer as the wind starts to just die down a little bit. And it's not quite so intense. Karun is fatigued still, unfortunately, but you keep moving. All right. Now, you make some more progress for the day as you begin your rest for the night. You again struggle to tell like how long it's been. You have to do some guesswork. You've been traveling now for a while, so I think some of it might be like making landmarks and guessing like how far you've traveled based on landmarks, because the sun was like still be up in the sky. It's like really hard to tell.
I would make a point of doing that as part of my supporting and as crude map making as I possibly can.
I would take a piton and slam it into the ice as well, and use the shadows as a guide.
Yeah.
Shadow of the sun, I should say.
Yeah, it's I don't know how well that works when you're close to the North Pole. Does it work the
There's the
same
sun
way?
in the sky. I mean, give or take. I just want an idea. It's not going for exact.
I also do have a compass. which would point toward the center.
I think he's thinking about, well, magnetism. How does that work with the...
I mean, is this a
magnetic
compass in this world, so I
sundial?
assume it works?
Yeah, sundial.
But timing-wise, I wouldn't know, just the direction.
Yeah, so I'm making like a
Though you could
AY
compare.
sundial.
You could use the direction knowledge, knowing that, and then the time of day to cross that information together.
A sundial at the North Pole would essentially track the sun's position as it circles the horizon, but the concept of time as we know it wouldn't apply. So you can really only have some rudimentary knowledge of
Yep, that's what I figured.
what would be happening.
But we can still track when the sun is going up and going down based on position, at least.
Yeah, reasonably.
Process of elimination.
Yeah. Okay.
It took a few days to, gather that information, whatever.
Very well.
Let's just open our mind's third eye and head towards the great cosmic world-bending evil that we're trying to take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
No, bad vibe detector.
Speaking of which, are there ley lines?
Oh.
There is no ley line where you are currently, right?
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Let us begin your next rolls. Leg number 2 here.
This
Wait
is
to get to my
unrelated to
third
that, but for downtime.
If you are changing your action, just let me know for your exploration activity. Otherwise, I will assume you are all staying on the same activity.
Staying, yes.
Thick 33.
And don't forget your ancestral geometry either, Rashtok.
Yes, thank you. Another 31.
Damn. Okay. Thick rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second leg of the journey. Okay. Ooh, very nice. Okay. The second leg of the journey is quicker. You're able to shave 4 days off of your travel.
Ooh, made up for the days plus 1. That's
Yes.
cool. Okay.
The second leg allows you to find a shortcut this time. Malavik and Arashtok. Haroon is able to sort of guide you through some easier spots to make the journey a little less visible on the outside. You all will now take 21 days for the second leg here of this trip. Arcelia, it's a lot harder to take note of things as the journey has continued. You're finding less and less landmarks to really recognize. Stuff's kind of blending together. So there's, you can record that however you like.
I like to imagine that I'm well aware that I'm not doing a good job here, and it's more psychological than actually benefiting us in any way. I go through the motions, and I don't have a lot of the answers of the things I'm trying to write down or keep track of. There's just so much bleakness all around us, but I'm still doing it, and I'm doing it to inspire hope for our group, because I'm going through this entire effort of making plans for us on our trip back when we finish this and when we get home, when we're going to leave this place. And it's more, my efforts are more in preserving that than actually being helpful, because I'm finding it increasingly difficult to actually be helpful.
I will, if possible, if it's okay, take Arcelia with me to fishing holes. Since she originally show me how to fish, and that can play a role in that as well.
Yes.
Fair enough. I would also like you all to please make me a will save.
Oh, would you want to do that? Okay, that's good. I'm good.
Is it related to comfort because of the cold? Because if so, I'm
It is
comfortable.
not.
All right, just figured I'd check.
I'm just
31?
gonna use the 20 I got from
Is that
ancestral
why I-
geometry, so it'll be a crit either way.
31, and if I succeed, it's a critical success instead.
Yeah. These are all
35.
successes. So whatever
So
crit
30s.
success. So here's the thing. Throughout this second leg of the
Ow.
trip. You have begun to dream again. The dreams have been under control by you, but you can feel that something is trying to change your dreams into nightmares. This has been progressing more and more as your trip has continued. You've been keeping them at bay, but it's been getting more and more difficult.
Once I realize that it's a pattern, not just a series of weird nights. When we get ready to set up the yurt one evening, I will try to draw everyone's attention. I've been having strange dreams. I feel as if there's something trying to persuade them in an insidious way. Is anyone else feeling that?
Oh, my dreams suck. So it's kind of hard for me to like pinpoint it.
Ever since the vision that I had, Dungeon Master, have I noticed that any of these dreams have been different, or that my dreams are in line perhaps with what Arcelia is saying, or...
I think you would all notice that something has been wrong in your dreams as of late.
Right. Indeed. It has been much the same for me.
I mean, normally I just dream about, like, well, my drug empire in Liepestad, you know? But yeah, there's something weird, like Egbert is not doing his job, and all his underlings are being mouthy.
I'm concerned that this might be linked to how we were experiencing those dreams under the doctor's influence.
It's a possibility.
Perhaps it wasn't his ability, but Usoyo instead. Does that make
Likely.
sense?
Yes. With
It does.
the Black Frost snowflake Yara pointed out. That makes me think, oh, Soyo, not Riddleson.
Yeah. We do not know what Riddleson's Gatewalker power was. Maybe it was influence.
Perhaps we should entertain the possibility that Usoyo knows that we are coming.
Oh, I believe that he definitely know and are prepared. He kind of put us on this path to come to them ever since that slimy thing back at the sewers. Welcoming us, almost.
Did say that we would meet again, almost as a promise.
And become one. Whatever that meant.
If I may, my friends, I can feel the nameless spires. They loom large in my mind's eye even now. Just as I know your own answers await you there as well. Many months ago, my grandmother, Seshu, beheld a dream of her own. A dream that informed her that one of my people would need to undertake a great quest to find a lost god and carry it to the nameless spires. I volunteered for this quest, as I suspect grandmother had expected I would. But she wasn't able to tell me what I needed to do when I reached these spires. Only that as I drew near, I would know the time would be right to dream of her and learn my true destiny. I see how you carry the weight of lost memories and these unsettling dreams as well. And as you have protected and guided me over so many miles, I invite you to come with me on a new journey tonight. A journey into a dream. A journey to meet my grandmother. Fear this may be the last time I will be able to speak to her. But I also know she has great power and wisdom, and will be able to help us all. So please, will you come with me into the dreaming this night?
Would be an honor.
Indeed.
If it is able to help reduce the influence, I will join.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Do we all need to? I look to Malavik and note his hesitance.
I believe so.
Well, there might be an extra in there. He should not mean no harm.
Good to be aware of, though.
Yes,
Can at least
did
be
not.
prepared.
I did not ask, or have I spoke with the Hawk for days now. But there is a
Shocking.
deal struck. Trust. But if any harm was to come to me, I cannot promise any outcomes.
Understood.
Good.
All that
Then I
we
will
must do
venture.
is fall asleep inside the yurt, just as we have.
Right then.
Very well.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Now roll over to my side. I don't close my eyes immediately. I worry. And I eventually fall asleep.
As I'm falling asleep, I will try to think of Sakuachi's grandmother that I believe I saw in one of the psychometric resonant readings. I'll try to get as much rest as I can.
As you all fall to sleep, you awaken together on an unknown shore near a frozen ocean. You stand on the outskirts of a small village full of low, dug-in shelters built of sod and whalebone with animal skin doors. Snowy Owl accompanies you, alongside a small, actual Snowy Owl. You all immediately recognize this as a manifestation of Rune. She leads you into the village, which she reveals as her hometown, Aminuit. If any of you look around, you notice no one else to appear. Snowy Owl says, "They are all asleep in their homes. This way." A larger building near the village center. A partially raised structure consisting of 3 40-foot diameter domes merged into a vaguely clover-shaped hill. Snowy Owl leads you into the building, which consists of 4 rooms, each dug 10 feet into the frozen earth and insulated with animal furs. You see an elderly woman rush forward and embrace Snowy Owl.
Oh, Sakuachi! It is you, Sakuachi!
I'm Snowy Owl now, grandmother.
Of course you are, my Snowy Owl. Now, tell me about your friends.
Snowy Owl motions to each of you. Introduce yourself to my grandmother, Seshu.
I am Marcelia of the Burning Sun clan, emissary of the Namathkar tribe, and it is an honor to meet you.
She smiles broadly.
It is wonderful to meet you.
And Malavik belong to no one.
Malavik the Free.
I'll nod and stay quiet.
I'm Karun. I'm an elf. Do you know elves?
Karun, the elf. It is good to meet you.
It is nice to meet you too. Am I doing this right? Right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
She can understand you.
You could talk at normal speed. Malavik is right.
Okay. I'm talking at normal speed now.
Okay.
I am a Rushtak of the River Kingdom.
Arashtak of the River Kingdom.
and Yara. I'm from Druma, but I'm an oracle in blessed one of Pharasma, I suppose.
Yara, blessed of Pharasma.
Once the introductions are over, Snowy Owl says,
We are dreaming. We're close to the nameless spires, grandmother. And it's time for you to tell me what I must do.
Seshu smirks playfully in response.
Of course. I know you are dreaming. Come with me.
She pulls you all to one of the areas in this home.
Please, be seated.
Can I do a small perception check? Read on this
Sure.
Seshu. 31.
Yeah.
I want to know if this, after Arcelia said something about dreams being manipulated and stuff, where she felt like it was off, I just want to use all my senses, maybe even a touch of Doc, to feel if this is right. Something feels off. Granted, I'm always cautious, so it could be me.
Yeah. This person seems very sincere. This dream that you have seems to be in control. Snowy Owl is seemingly under control of what's happening. You do notice, however, that you think there's something lurking in the shadows.
Okay, so maybe Doc could be like very faint. Maybe careful. I'll not say anything to anyone to not alarm them. But if anyone is paying attention to me, I am on extreme guard. My eyes are shifting back and forth. I'm mumbling under my breath very quietly.
A nightmare, not of this world, lies frozen in the ice below us, where it has remained imprisoned through the sacrifice and vigilance of a people known as the Salman Kar. Today, only one yet lives. His name is Einamuren, and when he is no more, the nightmare will be free. He knows this, knows he is the last of the Salman Kar. And so he shared with me his people's legacy and showed me what must be done should the nightmare stir once more. And now, it does more than stir. It quickens in the ice. It uses portals and promises a power to trick others into engineering its freedom. And now Einamuren has been taken, bound to the very temple in the heart of the nameless spires his people once built as a tomb over the nightmare's grave. A tomb they bolstered with the sacrifice of their own god. This is your destiny, Snowy Owl. The god you carry in your soul must become the new lock to the nightmare's cell once Einamuren is no more. Those you travel with can be trusted to escort you to the first and last temple of Akakaru, the snow mother of the Salman Kar, where the nightmare must once more be contained. They know the route well. They were all there, after all, when Eine was taken.